Hey guys, welcome back to another Diary of a Wimpy Kid book review video. And today we're going to be taking a look at book number 18, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, No Brainer. So, before I begin, does this title remind anyone else of the DJ Khaled song? No? Just me? Okay. Anyways, so here it is. All jokes aside, we got the book cover here. So as you can see, it's got like this nice turquoise color. It's in the design of like a chalkboard, and you can see a whole bunch of equations all up in the background there. You got Greg there with no brain, looking clueless. You got the author's name, Jeff Kinney, there. And of course, the iconic blurb that says over 275 million books have been sold. And yeah, pretty nice, pretty cool. Very nice cover. I think this might be one of my favorite covers for the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. But yeah, going to the spine, you got a picture of Greg's face there, the title once again, the number 18, Jeff's last name, and the logo for Amulet Books, the publisher. So yeah, pretty nice, pretty cool. And then on the back, you've got a picture of Greg getting spooshed on by a school toilet in a very run-down looking bathroom. And yeah, pretty funny. And then the description of the book here reads, up until now, middle school hasn't exactly been a joyride for Greg Heffley. So when the town threatens to close the crumbling building, he's not too broken up about it. But when Greg realizes this means he's going to be sent to a different school than his best friend Rowley Jefferson, he changes his tune. Can Greg and his classmates save their school before it's shuttered for good? Or is this the start of a whole new chapter for Greg? And then down here, you got pictures of every book in the mainline series, excluding the Awesome Friendly Kid books and the Do-It-Yourself books and movie diaries. So there they all are. Gotta collect them all. Once again, you get some information for Amulet Books. So there's all that there. And then you've got the price over here. Looks like the wimpykid.com link. And just a reminder to use the @WimpyKid handle there. And yeah, so US price $14.99. Canadian price $17.99. I got this off of Amazon. I think I pre-ordered it, so I got it for like 10 bucks. Walmart had it for 15 bucks, and I'm honestly quite shocked. Darn inflation. But yeah, if you can, try and get it from Amazon, and if not, get it through your local book fair. It's definitely a lot cheaper there. But yeah, so now that we've taken a look at the outer design, let's go ahead and crack open the book and take a look inside. Looks like it's got an orange protective piece of paper there. Very first picture you get, it's a picture of Greg chasing after his brain because he's losing his mind. And you get into the opening pages here. So, it lists out all the books in the mainline Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. And then all the other books from the Wimpy world. The Do-It-Yourself book, the movie diaries, and the Awesome Friendly books. You've got your title again. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, No Brainer by Jeff Kinney. Amulet Books, New York. And of course, as always with all the books, you've got your cast of characters here. So you've got Greg. You've got the school principal. You've got a cleaning machine with eyes. Don't ask me. Read the book. You'll find out. Roderick Heffley, Susan Heffley, Manny Heffley, and Frank Heffley. So, yeah, pretty cool. And then, of course, you get a bunch of boring stuff that publishers make authors put into books. This book is dedicated to Matt, whoever that is. And from there, you jump into the book. And we're going to go ahead and skip ahead to my favorite part. So my favorite part is on page 73, and at this point in the book, Greg is describing how weird it is that your parents assign your name at birth, and he's mentioning how in other cultures they wait about a year before parents decide on their baby's names. And Greg is saying how even that probably isn't enough time, because if his parents had named him when he was 1 year old there, he would have ended up with the name Gregory Bartholomew Poopy Pants. So, yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. And I think it's funny seeing little baby Greg just walking around, and his parents are just giving him this ridiculous name. I love it. Babies are funny. But yeah, that being said, let's go ahead and jump into my thoughts of the book. So with the last book, Diaper Overload, that book focused a lot on Roderick and his band, up to the point that Greg kind of became a side character in his own book. So I'm happy to say that Greg finally feels like a main character again in this book. And I'm also really happy to see that he is still very relatable. I've been following his stories ever since book 3 came out back in 2009. And even with me being a grown man, I can still relate to this guy and everything that he goes through. Greg is my dude, man. And also with this book, there's a lot of really good jokes in it. When I first started reading it, I literally had only gotten to like page 2, and I was already dying of laughter. There are a lot of funny gags and situations in this book, but not only that, there's also a lot of pictures that are definitely going to be memed by the internet as soon as they get their hands on this book. Just you watch. And yeah, it's just great when we could add to all the memes surrounding the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. This book, it's chock full of them, so, internet, do your thing. Like a lot of the more recent Wimpy Kid books, this book pokes fun at a lot of things about middle school, which is great because it makes me feel like we're kind of going back to the roots of the original book that started this whole series. And funnily enough, there's actually a nice visual callback to the first book towards the end of this book. And once you read the book and you see it, if you know, you know. So you'll recognize it once you see it. And also, like the more recent Wimpy Kid books, Greg gets involved in some pretty crazy shenanigans in this book. I don't want to spoil what happens, but let me just say that I used to think that the middle school I went to was awful. No. Greg's middle school makes mine look like Harvard. Honestly, we're reaching Hogwarts levels of child endangerment with Greg's school here, and it's no wonder why he is the way that he is. Dude is literally trying to survive middle school. No joke. But moving along here, there are a lot of funny things that the kids at Greg's school do in this book that range from being insanely dumb to insanely smart, and it is overall just plain chaotic, but it's still fun to read about, honestly. It's great what some of the kids do in this book. It's just, once you read it, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's also cool to see that some of the side characters from previous books come back and get more development as characters in this book. I think Jeff is really doing a good job of further broadening the Wimpy Kid universe. None of the characters reintroduced in this book have a full arc like Bill had in the last book, but we do surprisingly get characters who were introduced as far back as book 2 making a return in this one, which is really cool to see. So really my only critique of this book that I can give is that the book's description on the back emphasizes that Greg is trying to save his school from closing because there's a chance he might be separated from Rowley. But that really isn't the case with the actual story. Rowley isn't actually even in the book all that much. He just kind of gets a small mention every once in a while. And Greg, being the sociopath that he is, doesn't really seem to care all that much that he might be separated from his childhood friend, which kind of contradicts the ending of Wrecking Ball, but that's a story for another time. It makes me wonder who wrote the description, because they clearly didn't seem to have read this book. But that's all I'll say about it. I guess that's kind of a spoiler there, but, I just thought I'd point it out because it really threw me for a loop when I finished this book. And, I don't want you guys to be thrown for a loop. But other than that, all in all, for my final thoughts, I think this is a very fun book and a welcome addition to the Wimpy Kid collection. I'm glad to see that we're going back to the middle school setting, and it's surprising to see how relatable Greg and his struggles are especially now, even though I am a fully grown adult who is out of school. And, of course, as always, I think Wimpy Kid fans and young kids will most definitely enjoy this book. But I also think there are a good number of jokes that will make anyone who's ever been through the horrors of public middle school just burst out laughing and busting a gut. It's a very funny book, and I highly recommend it for anyone of any age. So, that being said, let me know what you guys thought of the book if you've read it down in the comments below. No spoilers, please. Try not to spoil it for anybody. And let me know where it ranks in your Diary of a Wimpy Kid book rankings. And right up here, there should be like a little link to a playlist. I've reviewed every book in the series, so if you want to see my thoughts on any of the other books, go ahead and check them out via the link. I really appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next Diary of a Wimpy Kid book review video. Later.